Hey, it's Scott Anthony Barlow from Happen to Your Career. I wanted to bring you along on my morning this morning because pretty much every week I end up working from either a coffee shop or someplace outdoors. It's beautiful here in Moses Lake, Washington, where we live, and I really enjoy spending time outdoors, as it turns out. Especially if I'm writing, especially if I am, producing content, even I guess producing videos like this one, right? So I wanted to be able to share with you, not just bring you along, but also wanted to be able to teach you two questions that I've used over the years that help me really pay attention to and look for the things that I want out of life, and then be able to do more of that thing. They're two really simple questions, but what I've found is that when you do these over and over and over again, then you start to train yourself, and it becomes a habit. Because here's the reality: like right now, I get to do a whole bunch of the things that I'm really excited about, and I feel like are fun for me, or I'm good at. Not always easy. In fact, a lot of them really are not easy. But they're a lot of the ways that I want to be able to spend my time. So I enjoy helping our clients. I enjoy having conversations to help people get to careers that they love, and I enjoy writing. I enjoy a lot of the things that I get to do now. But in order to be able to set that up, if you look even back 6 years ago, we were in a ton of debt. We had like six figures worth of debt. 8 or 10 years ago, I was in a job that I really didn't like all that much and wasn't that enjoyable for me. So had to take all those things one step at a time. And it doesn't, even if you figure out some of the things that you really enjoy and want and everything, it's still going to take small steps spread out over time to be able to set yourself up to get there, right? And the other funny thing that happens along the way is, as you kind of move along and say, okay, here's something that I want, you arrive at that thing and realize, oh, you know what? There's even something that I enjoy so much better. And then you realize what's possible again and again. Here's a different way to think about it than what most people have think about it. I don't want you to figure out the end goal. Instead, I want you to figure out the small, tiny snippets of what it is that you want and what it is that you enjoy in your life and that you want more of. Instead, it's really easy for us to be able to say, oh, I know, here's what I don't want, because we're sort of programmed as human beings to be able to say, oh yeah, I don't want this over here. I don't want the job that doesn't give me the flexibility. I don't want the boss, over my back. I don't want to not have creative freedom. Whatever it is for you, it's so much easier to identify what I don't want. Instead, when you begin to practice what it is that you do want, the question that you can ask and the thing that you can look for along the way is, how do I get more of that? Whatever that thing is. Okay, so 3 years ago, I went and I was gonna be on a flight to I don't even remember where I was. Doesn't even matter, someplace. But because I was going to be on a flight later that day, I went and took my kids to soccer tots in the morning. And this is like ridiculous. It's not even real soccer, right? But they're having fun. They're so excited that I was there. I was the only dad in the room. There was a bunch of other moms that were stay-at-home moms and everything like that. And I'm looking around, and my kids are running up and hugging me and kicking the ball and then falling over. And somehow there was hula hoops there. I don't even know why there was hula hoops there. But either way, what I realized is I wanted more of that in my life. So question number one is all about being observant and paying attention to those small things, tiny things that you can identify that you want more of in your life. And then asking yourself, is that something that I want more of? And then question number two is, well, okay, how could I make that happen? What could I do to make that happen? How could that be possible? Under what circumstances could I make that happen? And that line of questioning begins to allow you to not come up with a perfect path, because nobody can come up with the perfect path, but instead to begin to think, what are those beginning steps that I can take right now to be able to move myself closer, because it's going to happen over a period of time. Okay, so those are it. Those are the two questions. But it starts with being able to practice observing what you want more of in your life, recognizing and asking yourself, hey, is this something that I want more of? And then asking yourself, how can I make this happen? And that type of questioning switches you over from, I don't know how I'm ever going to figure out what it is that I want, to, oh my goodness, what would the first steps be to move me closer to this thing? Because it's going to happen over a long period of time, and more importantly than that, over a long period of action. One small step at a time. So here's my question to you. What are some of the things that you've observed that you want, that are small, not big, but you want more of in your life? And what are one or two really simple steps that you could take in the next week to move yourself closer to that? Hey, thanks so much for listening and watching. Really appreciate you being here, and go out there and make it happen. Adios.